Hi everyone. Hope you all are good. We are here for grade 9 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password as provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 9 math and then click on view all lessons. There you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter persons. So please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. Here I am on grade 9 math. The chapter we are on right now is persons. Let's just start with the first lesson, that is percent of change. So here I am. Let's just start with the example. What is the percent of change from 5,000 to 9,000? So from 5,000 to 9,000, that is an increase, right? We need to calculate a percent of change that equals amount of change divided by the original amount. So first thing we need to calculate is amount of change, right? For amount of change, that is from 5,000 to 7,000. So you have to subtract 7,000 and minus 5,000. So 7,000 minus 5,000 is 2,000, right? And 2,000 divided by the original value is 5,000. Like we started from here, we have an increase of 5,000, sorry, 7,000. So from 5,000 to 7,000, we have 2,000 increase and divided by the original amount is 5,000. So that means that is 0.4% increase. Let's just start with the test questions. What is the percent of change from 100,000 to 40,000? That is a decrease, right? So 100,000 to 40,000, we need to calculate the change, right? The amount of change, that is 40,000 minus 100,000, that is negative 60,000, right? Now we need to calculate the percent of change. So that is 60,000 divided by 100,000. So that is 60% decrease. The correct option is 60% decrease. That is 0.6. 0.6 multiplied by 100 means that is a decrease. The correct option is option number 1, that is 60% decrease. Option number 1 is the correct option, that is 60% decrease. What is the percent of change from 2 to 3? So that is an increase, right? So amount of change is 2, 3 minus 2 is 1, the original amount is 2. So that is the increase, 50% increase. Positive value means the amount of, if the amount of change is positive, that means that is an increase, right? So 50% increase it is. That is 50% increase. What is the percentage of change from 100 to 62? So 100 to 62, that is a decrease, right? So the amount of change is, we need to calculate the amount of change, that is 62 minus 100, right? So the correct option is, so that is negative 38. Grade 9 math it is. So we need to calculate the percentage, percent of change. So we have to do amount of change divided by the original amount. That is negative 38 divided by 100. Negative value means that is a decrease. So 100 divided by 38 is 0.38 times 100 equals 38% decrease. The correct option is 38% decrease. What is the percent of change from 600,000 to 900,000? So that is an increase. The value is increasing. So the amount of change is 300,000 divided by 600,000. So that is 50% increase. 0.5 it is. So 0.5 times 100 is 50% increase. What is the percent of change from 35 to 21? So the amount of change is 14. 14 divided by 35. So 14 divided by 35 times 100 is, that is 40% decrease. That is 40% decrease. Option number 2 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is solve percent equations. $6 is what percent of $6? So $6 is 100% of $6, right? 100% of the number is the entire number. Let's just start with the test questions. $6 is what percent of $6? So an entire number is 100% of the entire number. That is 100%. 20% of 15 is what number? So we need to calculate 20% of 15. So how do we calculate? We have to do 15, that is 15 times 20 over 100. Got it? Because we need to calculate 20% of 100, so we need to do 15 times 20 over 100. That 20 over 100 means 20% it is. That is 0.3 multiplied by the 100, that would be 30%. Sorry. So that is 3. 20% of 15 is 3. The correct option is 3. The correct option is 3. Option number 3 is the correct option. Twenty is what percent of 21 is what percent of 84, right? So we are given 84 is the whole number, right? We need to calculate how much percent of is 21. Got it? So let's just solve this question for x. So we need to multiply both sides by 100. So 100 and 100 cancel out. We need to calculate the value of x only. So we need to divide 84 by other side. So 821 times 1 is 121 times 4 is 84 and 120 divided by 5 is 25%. That means 21 is 50, 21 is 25% of 84. 21 is 25% of 84. Okay, the correct option is 25. The next one is 100% of what number is 17? So 100% of 17 is 17. Option number 3 is the correct option. 90% of what number is 18? We need to find the whole number. 18 is the part of that whole number. So 90%, we need to find the missing number. 90% of the number is 18. So just multiply the both sides by 100. Now divide both sides by 90 because we need to solve this equation for x only. So 20 it is. That means 90% of 20 is 18. That is 20. Option number 3 is the correct option. Complete the following statement. Write your answer as a decimal or whole number. So what percent of 4 is 2? 50% of 4 is 2. 75% of 4. That is 4 times 75 over 100. So 75 times 4 is 300. 300 divided by 100 is 3. So that means 75% of 4 is 3. So 75% of 4 is 3. Option number 2 is the correct option, that is 3. $84 is what percent of 84? So 84 is 100% of 84. A number is 100% of itself, so the correct option is 100%. 30% of what number is 12? That is x times 30 over 100 equals 12. That is 30 times x equals 1200. X equals 1200 divided by 30. 40 it is. 30% of 40 is 12. The correct option is 40. 30% of 40 is 12. 5 is what percent of 25? 5 is what percent of 25? So you have to do 5 times x over 100 equals 25. Sorry, 5 is what percent of 25? So 25 is the whole number and 5 is the part. So that is 25 times x equals 500. So x equals 500 divided by 25. That is 20%. So 5 is 20% of 25. The correct option is 20%. The correct option is 20%. Option number 2 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is percent word problems. To celebrate the first day of school, Mario brought a tray of caramel brownies and walnut brownies. The tray had a total of 30 brownies, of which 50% were caramel. How many caramel brownies did Mario bring? So we need to find the 50% of 30. So 30 is the whole number. We need to find the part of the whole number. How much part? 50% part. So we need to form a proportion, that is n divided by 30, and is the part of 30, we're going to find how much part. 50%. So that is n divided by 30 equals 50 over 100. So that is n equals 15. Let's just start with the test questions. The art club had an election to select a president. 100% of the 97 members of the club voted in the election. How many members voted? So 100% of 97 is, we need to calculate the part of 97. How much part? 100%, right? So it would be n divided by 97 equals 100, over 100, right? So 100 over 100 is 1. So n is equal to 97. That means 100% of 97 is 97. Option number 2 is the correct option. A sports shop has 43 employees. 100% of the employees work part time. How many part time employees does the sports have shop have? So 100% of 43 is 100%. 100% of a number is the entire number. So the correct option is 43. In hopes of encouraging healthier snacks at school, Kelly brought in a tray of carrot sticks and apple slices to share. She brought 98 snacks in all. 49 of the snacks were carrot sticks. And what percentage of the snacks were carrot sticks? So we are given 49 is the part of 98. We need to calculate how much part, right? So that is n equals 49 times 100 divided by 98. So n is equal to 50%. That means 50% of the snacks were carrot. The correct option is 50%. Option number 2 is the correct option. Robert brought chocolate and vanilla cupcakes to school for his birthday. 32 students decided to cake a cupcake and 8 of them picked vanilla. What percentage of the student picked a vanilla cupcake? So 32 cupcakes he bought to he 32 students decided to take a cupcake and 8 of them picked the vanilla. What percentage of the students picked a vanilla cupcake? So, wait, Robert brought chocolate and vanilla cupcakes to school for his birthday. 32 students decided to take cupcake and 8 of them picked vanilla. What percentage of the student picked a vanilla cupcake? So 32 of them picked cupcake and 8 of them picked vanilla. That means the total students we have is 40, right? 32 plus 8 is 40. What percentage of the student picked a vanilla cupcake? So 8 of them picked the vanilla cupcake. We need to calculate the percentage. So just solve this for n, that is 8 times 100 over 40. 8 times 1 is 80, 8 times 5 is 40. So 5 times 25. Wait, that is 8 over 32 equals n over 100. So n is equal to 8 times 100 divided by 32. 8 times 1 is 8, 8 times 4 is 32. So 100 divided by 4 is 25%. So 25% of them picked the vanilla cupcake. The correct option is 25. The correct option is 25%. Option number 1 is the correct option. Last night, the two dinner specialists at Lexi's favorite restaurant were salmon, filet, and steak. The restaurant served 10 specials in all, 10% of which were salmon fillets. How many salmon fillets did the restaurant serve? So, which is the correct option? So, 10% of 10 is 1. Option number 2 is the correct option. That is 1. Wayne's town voted on a new speed limit. 90% of the 20 votes were in a favor of the new speed limit. How many votes were in favor? 90% of 20. So we need to calculate the part of 20, how much part 90% it is. Got it? So P is equal to 9 times 20 over 100. So 9 times 2 is 18. Option number 1 is the correct option, that is 18. The correct option is 18. 22 out of 88 employees at the water slides are temporary employees. What percentage of the employees at the water slides are temporary? So that is 88 22 divided by 88, right? Because 22 is the part of 88, we need to calculate how many percents, right? So n is equal to 22 times 100 over 88. To 22 times 1 is 22, 22 times 4 is 88. That is 25%. N is equal to 25. So 25% of the employees. The correct option is 25. Option number 2 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So we were working on grade 9 math. Chapter we were working on is persons. The lessons we have covered today are percent of change, solve percent equations, solve percent equations, percent word problems. So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons you just did. That is your homework until next session. So if you need more help with any of the lessons, you can simply click on the live chat button. Tutors are available there to help you, or either you can write them down in the chat box. I'm here to answer all your confusions if you have any. So any questions you can please ask if you have any.